My name is Shan Wei. I graduated from the University of Bath with my Part 2, and I'm the winner of this year's RIBA Award for Sustainability. So my project, the Udaipur Plastic School, actually had quite interesting origins. So the way I wanted the project to go is not to have a kind of architectural agenda or an academic agenda, but we were actually, sponsored to go to Udaipur by a company. So we went there with open eyes, and I really wanted the city to inform, how us architects could be as useful as we could be for such a city, and not to have an agenda. So one of the roots of this project was really seeing the plastic waste on the streets and in the rivers. So we later found that in Udaipur, only 13% of waste is recycled. So the other 87% is still out there in the landfill and in the river as well. So that's where I felt that I could be most useful in proposing a solution for that. So one of the main challenges actually for this project is the lack of data. So it was a whole process of trying to find the past studies that were done, and I think essential to our understanding of the place was actually trying to speak to the people there. So we linked up with a university there, with a company who was there, who tried to just give us information on how things work and operate. And I think it's really tricky. As architects, we want to work globally, but there's always a need to be sensitive to the culture and the practices, and there's a fine line between understanding and imposing. And sometimes you do need to tread on that line, because otherwise change wouldn't happen. But I think a large part of research is really speaking and understanding with an open mind, without an agenda, so to speak. Yeah, so one of the main drivers of the project was to make sure that it was a model. It wasn't a one-off project, and it was a demonstration almost. So plastic recycling, there's all sorts of pre-existing work that many amazing people have done, plastic as pavers, plastic as buildings. So this project was never about trying to reinvent any sort of technology or any sort of ways of thinking, but rather it was to demonstrate that, okay, we have these amazing minds who have come up with these ways of recycling and using the waste that we're producing. Now, how do we make that bridge? How do we build that bridge from theory to practice? And how would a piece of city look if, it was using these technologies? And I think the site almost was secondary in a way. It was chosen for its utility as a demonstration of these principles. This award really means a lot to me, and I think it's really encouraging that a project that's so rooted in practicality, it's about real-world issues, it's not about anything academic or lofty, and it's really reassuring that the RIBA recognizes that this project, using existing technologies in a really humble kind of environment, is the one to recognize as the model for sustainability. So I'm really happy with that and really proud of that.